Can we edit it later? Okay, we're just about to start in a couple of minutes. Just waiting until about 7:30.
It is 7:30. Start ready.
Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight for our webinar on reducing toxins. So I'm just going to be sharing with you some things that we've implemented over the last 3.5 years into our lifestyle to make sure that we have everything toxin free now. And it can be quite a big journey, which is why it's important to, I guess, take baby steps and replace a couple of things at a time, which is what we've done. We just did one thing a week. Okay, what can we change this week? A cleaner. All right, what can we do as a natural alternative? So I'm going to be talking about that tonight. All right, so what do you use in 24 hours? When I first was putting together this list and looking at what I had in my house, I was like, wow, there are actually a lot of products that are pretty toxic in my house. So looking at things like shampoo, conditioners, soaps, all your body washes and shaving gels and acne treatments. Then looking at all the foods, you know, which foods have lots of pesticides on them or processed or have lots of ingredients that you don't know what's inside it. Brushing teeth as well, or your toothpaste, mouthwash, fluoride. We definitely used to use things like that. Things that we're drinking, face products, hair products, so many of them, especially being girl. Fragrances too. So we definitely had heaps of candles around our house and we had lots of expensive perfumes in the cupboard. Window cleaners, clothes, bench sanitizers, dishes, bathroom, toilet cleaners, medications. So many different things there. Byron and I literally have so much space in our cupboards now that we've got rid of all these things from our cupboard. So it's amazing what you accumulate over the years. So like I said before, baby steps. You know, give yourself a goal. Maybe I'm going to replace one thing a week or one thing every 2 weeks. It's totally up to you, but you want to do it so you actually implement it and I guess stick to it over time. Okay, here's some symptoms of toxicity. When I first saw this, I was like, oh my goodness, I think I have nearly everything on this list. And I didn't realize it meant that my body needs to be detoxed and that it might be a good idea to start introducing some natural things into my household, some natural products. Give you a little bit longer to look at the list. Next one. Okay, so there's 3 main modes of exposure. So what we're breathing in, what we're putting on our skin, and what we're putting in our mouth. So pretty much aromatic, topically, and internally. So breathing and smelling. So when you breathe things in, you have access to parts of the brain such as the limbic system straight away, and that's all linked to your emotions and memory. So for example, every time I drive past Pickett's Valley, I can smell this weed smell, and it reminds me of when I used to do swimming lessons as a child, and it's amazing how much the smell can trigger different memories, and usually positive ones too. So keep that in mind. And then the skin, which is the largest organ in the body, and it's direct access to the bloodstream. So I didn't realize all those years that everything I was putting into my skin was actually going into my bloodstream. But now I follow the rule of don't put anything on my skin that I wouldn't eat, because it's going in there anyway. So you've got to make sure that it's natural things. Internally, so 60 to 80% of the immune cells are associated with gut health, which is pretty high. And then 90% of the body's serotonin involved in mood management is produced in the gut. So if your gut health is out of whack, then possibly your mental health may be, or your moods may be out of whack as well, because that's where your serotonin mostly lies. So therefore, gut health is vital because you are what you eat. Common household culprits is what we're going to be looking at next. So the word fragrance. Is it a great smell from nature or a chemical? So the word fragrance, actually, there could be 3,000 plus synthetic chemicals that make up the word fragrance, which is crazy when you look into it. And these things can cause headaches and sneezing and respiratory irritation, watery eyes. It could be a hormone disruptor, neurotoxin, hyperactivity, depression, irritability, all those things could be a possibility from fragrance. Here's some essential oils that I love to use as a perfume for people that are looking at swapping over from their fragrances to a nice smelling oil, because not all of them smell nice, but these ones do. I especially love the Balance essential oil and Elevation. Actually, I love most of them. I just put on sandalwood before. It's one of my favorites at the moment. And then as a perfume, I usually just put them behind my ears or on my wrists, somewhere where I can smell it throughout the day. Okay, candles or warmers. So having them around your house, you're being exposed to this fragrance for a long period of time. And like we talked about before, it can affect your mood and hormones and allergies and asthma. But pretty simple. All you have to do is replace it with a diffuser and doTERRA essential oils, which is what we've done. And it is a bit sad at first. We had so many candles in our house and I got rid of them all. And if you really love the romantic feel of candles, the best thing you can do is get some beeswax candles. And that's what we have around our house, just natural beeswax candles and then a diffuser. I was going to also mention too, a diffuser, you literally just, it's very different to an oil burner. You literally just put water in there and then 3 to 5 drops of whichever oils you would like, and then turn it on at the wall, and it has a timer on it. You can choose whether you want it to go for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, or 4 hours, and then it turns off automatically after that time period, or it switches off automatically too if it runs out of water. So really safe to go to sleep with it next to your head as well in the room. That's what we do every night with some beautiful calming oils. And then throughout the day, you might want to use some uplifting or some sanitizing oils for around your environment. Especially if someone's sick, it's very handy to put things like On Guard essential oil inside there. Skin, body and cleaning. So the phthalates. So it's a chemical used to make plastic more flexible and harder to break down. You can also find this in perfumes, moisturizers, soaps, detergents, all those things. And it can cause damage to the liver, kidneys, lungs, and reproductive system. Okay, then you've got also nanoparticles. So that's particle less than 1/100th of a human hair, made from metals, carbon, polymers, or semiconductors. And they're used in cloths, makeup, plastics, cleaners, lotions, and bandages. Parabens, it's to help extend the shelf life. It's an estrogenic and known toxic as well. So hormone disruptor. And sodium lauryl sulfate, which you can find in your detergents, emulsifiers, used in 98% of personal care products. Pretty scary, that statistic. It can penetrate the eye and tissues with long-term retention and can damage the eyes and form potential carcinogens in the body. So, gee, sounds like a bit of a negative thing when you put it into perspective, all those things, because there are a lot of things that we could be using in our household right now. This is a great book, well, both of these books that I have. The Chemical Maze, you can also get an app as well. And pretty much if you have some products that you're not sure whether they're safe or toxin-free, you can look them up and it will tell you exactly what it is and whether it's harmful for you or not. So it's really great for when you're first starting out. And if you have the app, it's really easy to take it to the grocery store as well. So you can look up different things on the back of the packet. then at the end of the day, we just try and, if we can't read it or if it's got numbers or anything like that, we don't buy it. We usually just stick to the fruit and veg section. Okay, your food. So some food is sprayed with pesticides, or it may have MSG added to it, may have dyes, artificial flavors, preservatives, nitrates, HFCs. So I guess the best way to get around this is know your dirty dozen and clean 15. So I'm going to talk about that in a little bit. I think it's on the next slide. Yeah. Buying local is also a great way to avoid some of these things as well, because you can ask them where the food actually come from and whether they spray it or things like that. And I buy from the Fig Group at Arimba, which we absolutely love, Bar and I, because it's all pesticide-free fruit and veg, all organic, and it comes from local farmers from all around the coast, which is really amazing that they even have started this group for us, because it's run by volunteers. And it's every Monday between 2 and 4 that you can pick up your fresh fruit and veg, and you pretty much get what's in season as well, which is perfect for you to eat what's in season. So it's really amazing. Highly recommend checking it out. So that's the website address there if you want to jot it down. Otherwise, you can just Google Fig Group Arimba and you'll be able to find all the information there. And it's only $33 for a massive medium box of your organic fruit and veg. And there's 10 different things. So, you know, there might be broccoli and cauliflower and apples and oranges, and you get a certain amount of each fruit and veg. Oh, and I forgot to mention, it'll be the most amazing tasting apples and oranges in your life, because they've literally picked that morning from the trees or the night before. I can't get over how much I'm in love with apples these days. And wax free too, which is awesome. So this is another great way, especially if you can't afford to buy everything organic, and if you're on a budget, then knowing the dirty dozen is a great thing, because then you can buy the dirty dozen things organic, but then the clean 15 things you can just buy from your regular supermarket if you like, and still pay the normal prices. So I definitely never buy apples or strawberries or peaches and things like that from the shop, because apples is the #1 pesticide-ridden and herbicide-ridden fruit out there. You can also, if you like, you can get some apple cider vinegar and some water and soak your vegetables in there to draw out the toxins, or you could put a bit of lemon essential oil in the water to draw it out. The longer the better that you leave it in there. We usually do it for about 10 minutes or more. Maybe like 3 to 5 drops of lemon essential oil in the water. I don't usually really count it, just do whatever. And another great tip is, you know, in our household, we never buy potatoes anymore. We just always buy sweet potatoes, because it's on the clean 15 and you just swap it over, and it's better for you, the sweet potato, anyway, because it's got a low GI content. Okay, pretty much for moisturizing, your skin's best friend is pretty much coconut oil or fractionated coconut oil. So the difference between the two is coconut oil you can get from anywhere where you might use it in the kitchen to cook with already. And then the fractionated coconut oil is that tiny fraction of the coconut oil that never solidifies in winter. And they've taken that fraction out and put it together in a little bottle. And I like it because it isn't greasy like normal coconut oil, so it soaks into your skin really easily and quickly, and it doesn't have that coconut smell too, which is awesome, because my dogs love licking coconut oil off me all the time when I use it from the jar, whereas a fractionated coconut oil, they're not as interested in that one. So really great for if you have to dilute oils for children or pregnancy or sensitive skin, with a bit of fractionated coconut oil. You can also use other things as well, like jojoba oil, almond oil, olive oil, but they're just all going to have a different consistency and greasiness and how quickly they absorb into your skin. Okay, so pretty much for a moisturizer, all you do is you just get your coconut oil or fractionated coconut oil, and then your favorite essential oil. So there's this thing called aromatic dressing, which you may have heard of before, which is where you just get a little bowl and you put a bit of your coconut oil or fractionated coconut oil in there, and then you just pick 3 to 5 essential oils of your choice, whichever ones you like the smell of, and then you just put a couple of drops of each in there. And then after you've had a shower, you moisturize your whole entire body with that coconut oil and the oils inside it. Some really nice choices might be things like frankincense or sandalwood, ylang ylang, geranium. So many different options of what you could use. Maybe you might be more of a citrus person and you might want to use lime or lemon or citrus bliss. Just keep in mind though that some of the citrus oils are photosensitivity, which means that if you plan on sunbaking out in the sun, then it can increase your sensitivity to the sun. The oils can. Some of them are for a few hours after you put them on, and some of them, which I think is the bergamot, is up to 12 hours. So keep that in mind especially if you're showering in the morning and you plan to be going to the beach and sunbaking. But that's just with some of the citrus. But you can find that information in the back of the Modern Essentials book. And on the app, it'll tell you which ones are. There's 6 oils that fall into that category. For my makeup remover, I just use the fractionated coconut oil. I recommend doing it at night time, but because, well, I guess that's when you would be doing it anyway, rather than first thing in the morning, because when I have forgotten to take off my makeup at night time and use in the morning, it can make you around your eyes a little bit greasy sometimes, and then when I've reapplied my mascara, then it started to leak down around my eye. So it's important to, I guess, do it at night time so then it can moisturize into your eyes and soak in rather than first thing in the morning. And then, same as other topical uses, you could, if you had a sore stomach, you could use the digestive oil with a bit of coconut oil and rub it in. It's great for helping the oil spread further around the body in large areas, I guess. Same as if you have a skin injury, you could use a bit of tea tree and frankincense too. And then these are some things that you might consider making your own of. So deodorants, cleaning products, bath salts, some air freshener sprays, hand sanitizers, dry shampoo. These are all things that I've made and that I'm going to be talking about today and showing you what I've done. So these are some things that you might have in your cupboard. And this is what we have. We have vinegar and baking soda. And then we also make up our own multi-purpose cleaner. So inside this cleaner, we have 15 drops of On Guard and 15 drops of lemon, and then the rest we just fill up with our filtered water. And the reason why I put in glass spray bottles so you can keep, reusing it and refilling it over time. So much nicer in a glass spray bottle. And then lemon will eventually break down plastic over time, over a long period, but it won't take, it's not going to be instant because it's only 15 drops of lemon and then the rest is got water inside it. But it is better to have the glass spray bottle if possible. Sometimes you can see at shops, I know in Aldi sometimes they sell glass spray bottles with different cleaning products in them, which you could always, tip out and start your own. Otherwise, you can go to au.aromatools.com and you can buy your own glass spray bottles there. And Bar and I stock some at our house sometimes for people if they just want to quickly pick one up as well when they come to a workshop. And that multi-purpose cleaner we use for everything. We use it to clean our shower, our toilet, our whole entire kitchen, everywhere around our house. Because the On Guard essential oil is a blend and it has in there clove and rosemary and cinnamon, it's got all those really highly antiviral and antibacterial properties anyway. So, wherever you're going to spray the clove, mold isn't going to grow back on anymore. So really powerful cleanser. And then lemon's really great for degreasing as well, especially if there's lots of grease around or things like that. doTERRA also do an On Guard cleaner concentrate as well, which you can use, for mopping floors, or you can put it in your dishwasher or in your sink if you're washing up. So anything that you need to clean. And that concentrate lasts such a long time because you just need a small amount to water. And then doTERRA do some On Guard foaming soap too, which you can just already pre-buy, and it fills up 2 soap containers, the soap that you buy. Or you can make your own up as well, and that's what we do. And then if we're feeling lazy or run out, sometimes we might go the On Guard foaming soap, just whatever suits your lifestyle. But what we do for making up our soap is 2 tablespoons of liquid Castile soap, 1/4 teaspoon of fractionated coconut oil, and then 20 drops of essential oil of choice. So we've been doing either 20 drops of On Guard. So remember, that's your highly antiviral, antibacterial essential oil, as well as many other properties. Or you could do 10 drops of tea tree and 10 drops of lavender. Another one that I haven't put on there, 10 drops of tea tree and 10 drops of peppermint is a good one as well. And 2 tablespoons of liquid castor soap. It can feel really different at first when you're swapping over from normal soap because it's not as thick. So if you want to make it thicker, you can just add more liquid castor soap. I usually don't measure it. Sometimes I put in maybe like a quarter of the liquid castor soap into my foaming soap bottles, sometimes even half. It's totally up to you. I was going to say, because for my shower gel in the shower, I just have the whole thing full of castor liquid soap. I don't have any oils in it at the moment because my skin is going through an itchy stage with my stomach constantly growing and growing and growing. So I'm trying to use less as possible on my skin. For your laundry stuff, at least unscented detergent if you aren't going down the natural route. doTERRA does do an awesome On Guard laundry detergent, which Brian and I have been using since they released it. Can't remember if it was 2 years ago or 3 years ago now that they released it, but it's awesome. You can't really see it on there, but it actually does 64 loads, that bottle. So it lasts such a long time, and because it's a concentrate. And then you've got that awesome On Guard oil inside there again. For those of you that have used On Guard and love it, it's one that you definitely want throughout the winter, that essential oil. But then they also have lots of awesome On Guard products. Unfortunately, that's one of the only ones that you have to get through the US, but that's really easy to do anyway. Anyone who has a wholesale account can just choose whether they want to order through Australia or US, and it's only $3 more postage anyway. I guess you just have to wait a little bit longer for the postage to come. It's between 5 to 10 days for the postage from the US, but it's still, I think it's great value for money still when you compare it to other things and how long it lasts. You can also use things like soap nuts. You definitely don't need fabric softener. Oh my goodness. The smell of fabric softeners when I smell it on clothes just makes me cringe all the time now, especially being pregnant, having a nose like a dog. You can use vinegar in the wash and dryer balls in the dryer if you like to help soften the clothes. Obviously, you're going to get that vinegar smell if you do use that. So, you know, dryer balls I think would be the better option. So I would just Google what dryer balls look like. You can make your own too if you like. And then if you want to get stains out of clothes, you can use vinegar and lemon essential oil. That works really well. And sometimes I even just put 1 drop of lemon essential oil straight onto the stain and just chuck it in the wash, and it gets it out nice and easily and quickly. Good little trick. Yeah. Okay, so doTERRA, they actually have an all-natural skincare, which is absolutely amazing because it's completely plant-based. And not only is it plant-based, but it's also preserved with essential oils as well. So there's a lot of natural skincare products out there, but then what happens is that when they preserve them, they're preserved with unnatural things. And they actually took a fair few years to create this product line because they were talking about how it's pretty much trying to make the impossible possible. How do you get something to preserve, you know, on the shelf without using chemicals? And then they eventually come up with the perfect combination of essential oils that would make it last. So here's a few little things about it. So it's pretty much your cleanser, toner, moisturizer, and there's also a hydrating serum. The hydrating serum's the most expensive one of the 4 of them because it has, well, similar to if you've ever tried Solubel, which is a blend of sandalwood, frankincense, rose, myrrh, lavender, and helichrysum. It's pretty much all the most expensive oils combined together, and then that's what it is in the hydrating serum, but a little bit more, I guess, diluted, more of a serum texture rather than the oil. I think it's about, if you buy the hydrating serum by itself, it's about $80 Australian. But if you buy all 4 of them, it's $100 all 4, which is an awesome price, especially when it's as good as those really expensive brands that are out there that are full of toxic things anyway. But I've definitely noticed a massive improvement to my skin since using this. I already mentioned this before, that you can wash your produce with lemon essential oil. So if you really can't get to the shops to get the organic produce that week, you could just draw out the toxins with some lemon, or you can use apple cider vinegar. And then you can also diffuse the oils to clean the air, which I was talking about before. So that's one of the diffusers, what they look like through doTERRA. They also have about, I think 3 other diffusers. Yep, 3 others to choose from. Okay, so here's some things that I use. So in my hair all the time, when it starts to get a bit dry and icky, especially in summer after you've spent a bit of time in the salty water or in the sun. So you pretty much just get some coconut oil. I use half an avocado, a whole egg, and then rosemary, lavender, and lemon essential oil. So just 2 or 3 drops of each, depending on how thick your hair is or how long it is. Will depend on how much oils and how much of the coconut oil that you use. But pretty much enough so you can cover it in your whole entire head. And you pretty much just put them all in a mixing bowl, and then you put it in your hair and you leave it for at least 30 minutes. And the first time I did it, felt really weird to be putting food in my hair. So weird. And you could just get a clip and clip it up and do what you have to do, I guess, in that time whilst you're waiting. And then you pretty much just wash your hair like normal afterwards. So if you shampoo and conditioner. So that's all you do to leave in the mask. And if you want a serum as well, you can either make your own up. So you can, here's an example of one with some macadamia and rosemary and peppermint essential oil, which is really beautiful, the smell of it. Otherwise, doTERRA does do a root to tip serum as well, which is also amazing as well. So you just put in when your hair's towel dried, like wet, and you've towel dried it a bit, you can just put a little bit in the roots. And then you could also put some rosemary or peppermint essential oil in, or a bit of both when you wash your hair. So put in the shampoo, a couple of drops, and then put it in. We've got very spoilt dogs in our house because they always get rosemary, lavender, and lemongrass in their shampoo when we're washing them. Just 2 drops of each. And the reason why we use the lemongrass is because it's a natural way to stop the ticks and fleas for them. And then the rosemary and lavender are really great for their fur. There's just a few little things there that I do. So, yeah, I already talked about that, pretty much applying it to the ends of your hair. The serum, because you don't want to make it all greasy by putting a whole bunch of it at the top of your head, where I guess your hair naturally forms grease already there. It's not greasy like things. I guess I didn't really explain it properly, but you want it to put it in the root. I mean in the tips, sorry. The tips of your hair, because that's where it's most dry and damaged. Okay, this is the aromatic dressing that I was talking about earlier on. So you can just choose any oils that you want. You literally just get the fractionated coconut oil in a little bowl and then put in any essential oils of choice. So obviously there I have about 7 different oils. You don't need to use 7 oils at a time, but they're just some ones that I like to use. So you can just choose, you know, maybe 3 to 5 different types, whichever smells you like really, out of them. And then you can also, that's a dry body brush on the left, which is great to do before you have a shower. And the best way to do it is to stimulate the lymphatic system. The best way to do it is going from your feet up towards your heart in a brushing motion to get the lymphatic system moving. And then we could do it after a shower if you want the body brushing, but I wouldn't aromatic dress until you've done the dry body brushing. So really great way, especially if you're trying to get rid of things like cellulite as well. You're trying to get everything nice and firm and moving, lymphatic system working. So you're brushing always up towards the heart. So it's good to start from the toes, working way up the legs, and going from there. That's pretty much what I just said before. Okay, this is a natural body scrub that you might want to make up as well. So it's just a mix of ground coffee and instant coffee, bit of macadamia nut oil and wild orange essential oil, which smells absolutely awesome. You pretty much just, when you're in the shower, you just rub it into your skin, just rub it, scrub it in, and then wash it off, and you'll notice your skin just feels so smooth and so beautiful after you've scrubbed it with this. So really nice. Here's a picture of some of the skin essential oils. So the Immortelle, which is also known as Soluble, is what I was talking about before, how the serum is the same blend as what's in this oil. So it has all the most beautiful oils inside that Immortelle blend. So it has things like frankincense, sandalwood, rose, helichrysum, myrrh, and lavender. So pretty much your skincare oils are your more expensive oils, but then they're so worth it, especially if you have some scars or things that you want to perfect or wrinkles. They still work out way cheaper than all those expensive creams that you could be using to get rid of a wrinkle or things on your face, especially when, you know, frankincense, it's what, 29 cents a drop for it. And that Immortelle roller can easily last over 6 months. Actually, I'm pretty sure mine lasts almost a year, because you literally need such a small amount on your finger and it goes such a long way. And then you've got your fractionated coconut oil to rub into your face, or you could rub coconut oil into your face if you wanted to. And then apply, you know, just 1 or 2 drops of the essential oil. You really don't need a lot of them. So you don't need all the ones there. So you can just choose one of them, or you can just choose the blend. Remember that the Immortelle is also called Soluble if you're looking for it. Yep. And then I was using the Soluble on my pimple scars, and I had this big frown mark in between my eyebrows, which I used to hate so much, and I couldn't believe how it got rid of it. Just fixed it all. And now I'm using the Soluble on my stomach to prevent stretch marks whilst being pregnant, which has been awesome. So it's been so far so good, working beautifully. And then you can always check on the chart too to see if, you know, if you have sensitive skin, see which oils you might need to dilute before you put them on your face as well, because it's more of a sensitive area. But then most of the time, most people use some coconut oil or the fractionated coconut oil on their face, which would be diluting the oils at the same time. doTERRA also has some products for acne or troubled skin. So they've got a whole range called HD Clear. This is actually a cleanser, moisturizer, and an essential oil, which I've only used these products once when they first come out 2 years ago, because I had a fair bit of acne then. I was doing a fair bit of detoxing, and I couldn't believe how quickly it worked. I was just like, oh my goodness, thank you. They're not made from plant-based products, the HD Clear range, but they're still free from the bad, so still going to be way better than your things that you're going to be finding at the shopping centre for pimples and all those things that peel your skin. Otherwise, you can also use tea tree on pimples as well. That's definitely a favourite in my bathroom. You literally just put the, you know, not even 1 drop of oil on your pimple. You might need 1 drop for every single pimple on your face. It goes such a long way. And it's up to you whether you want to use a bit of coconut oil with the tea tree or the HD Clear. I guess, you know, if you put the tea tree on your pimple and it's stinging and it's annoying, like irritating your skin, then you can just put the coconut oil and it'll take away that irritation straight away. But I never use the coconut oil with the tea tree. I don't get that sensation, but it's an option for if it does for you. I pretty much already talked about that. Okay, something that definitely like to spread the word on, because I had no idea this and was just totally oblivious to it, of how important it is to have chemical-free tampons and pads. So you're looking for ones that say 100% pure organic cotton on the label. Be careful, because some of them can trick you and they're not actually 100% organic cotton. And when you think about it, how long something like that can be in such a sensitive area of your body, if it's not organic cotton, it's going to be releasing toxins straight into your bloodstream. So pretty much one of the important things, if you're going to change one thing, I would definitely change this. If there's any guys out there listening, then, obviously you don't need these. But very important, because cotton's one of the most, toxic or pesticide-ridden things out there. So really important that you buy this organic. And you can get these, like the Tom range, from Coles and Woolworths if you do shop there. But some of them aren't with the normal tampon section. Sometimes they're a little bit up from them, or you have to look for them a little bit more carefully, I found. Then other shops, they are with all the regular ones as well. So just check it out. Otherwise, you can just buy them online as well. I've already talked about that. If you want a sunscreen, one that's more natural, then this is the best brand that you can buy. So it's called Whatnot. So as you can see on there, it says gentle enough for babies as well, and free from titanium dioxide, which is what you definitely want. So I personally don't use sunscreen, but then if I plan to be out in the sun during the middle of the day, or if I'm going on a cruise or somewhere where I definitely need, or if Byron's going surfing, then you definitely need some sunscreen. Then definitely go for this brand. But most of the time I tend to go out in the sun early in the morning or late in the afternoon when the sun's not at its peak, to try and avoid having to put sunscreen on my skin. But then, if you need an option, then this is one of them. And then a great way, and everyone's skin's so different as well, so you can build your skin up over time to be able to be more resistant to the sun. If you spend a bit of time, 5 or 10 minutes in the sun in winter every single day, and that can help build up a resistance to burning really easily over time. But then, if your skin's really sensitive and burns really easily, then you definitely need to get a sunscreen to help protect you at the same time. And obviously you can use other things too, like hats and umbrellas and rash shirts, things like that too, to help cover up and protect you. Sunglasses, the slip, slop, slap and wrap, whatever it is that we learn at school. Okay, this is definitely one that I use and love every single day. Well, not every single day, but whenever my hair starts to get a little bit greasy, making some dry shampoo. So I used to use those chemical ones all the time that you spray, and I literally used to spray it in my hair, and I'd have to run out of the bathroom because I felt like I couldn't breathe and it would just be so toxic, the smell of it. But it never really occurred to me back then that I shouldn't really be using it if it was making me feel that way. But then all these years later, I'm like, okay, probably shouldn't have done that, but you can't be too hard on yourself. You live and you learn. So this is just cornstarch, just some organic cornstarch. And then you literally just put 2 drops of rosemary, 2 drops of lavender, and 2 drops of peppermint inside of the cornstarch. And that's what you do. You just put it in your hair when it's a little bit greasy. So I just lean over the bath, or you can lean over the sink, and just put it in the parts where the oil or moisture needs to be absorbed. And then that's it. Your hair feels nice and clean, like it's been washed. I actually find my hair sits nicer when I've got a little bit of the cornstarch in there, because it's not as fluffy and it just sits a lot better. And then obviously if you don't have blonde hair, then you need to make it darker, then you add organic cacao powder to it. So you just keep adding as much cacao powder to it as you need to suit your hair color. So, and you'll just be able to easily work that out over time, what's best for you. Otherwise, if you have brown hair and you use the white cornstarch, it's going to make it look lighter and a bit grayer in those roots. So Organic cacao powder, perfect. Okay, shower filters. This is what we have on our shower filter at the moment, this vitamin C shower filter, because I've been told and taught over years that the shower is one of the most toxic places in the house, or it can be, because you imagine like you're in all the hot, your pores are opened up because it's nice and warm in there, and then, you know, if the water's got chlorine and or other things inside it, or if it's contaminated, then it's going straight into your bloodstream so quickly and so easily because all your pores are opened up. So really important to have a shower filter. I just bought this one off eBay and found it on there. It's not expensive at all, and you just change the cartridges. I think we have to change the cartridge every 2 or 3 months in our shower, but they're pretty cheap anyway. And you notice it's really silky, the water too, when it has a filter on it. So nice. If you've ever showered in a water tank, sorry, not in a water tank, in a shower that's connected to a water tank, you notice the difference in your hair, how it's really nice and shiny and smooth, and it's like the water just runs off you so nicely. That's what it feels like when you have a shower filter on there as well. And then I love all the Zazen products too. They have some shower filters if you want them to look a bit more modern, because the vitamin C ones do look a bit funny. It's kind of like this orange thing sticking off the side of your shower. But at the moment, we have an old school shower with brown tiles anyway, so it doesn't matter. But when we renovate and have a more modern looking one, you can actually get shower filters that can go into those shower heads that you can, oh, what are they called? One, you know how you can have the handheld shower heads in your hand, how you can move it around, or there's different types. So they're pretty much, you can't see them. They're inside your shower heads. I hope I explained that correctly. If not, you can always look it up. And we also have a Zazen water filter as well in our house, which I don't think I added to this slideshow. I was going to, but I forgot. But we used to buy our water from the organic shop, so go down there and fill it up, get the alkaline water. And it's $10 for the, I don't know how many litres it is, but it's pretty big. And we used to be spending $20 a week on water down there, and then we just decided to get our own Zazen water filter, which is awesome. It's even better than the water that we were buying because it has all these different filters, and it brings the water back to life, and it puts all those minerals back in there rather than just taking them out. So really good, something to look into, especially if you just have your normal osmosis shower filter on your tap, because you're taking out everything and it's kind of like bland or dead water, I guess. I guess you're taking out all the toxins, but it's good to have something where you're putting the minerals back into the water so it's living again for your body. You'll notice a difference between the flavour of them. We do have on our normal tap in the kitchen one of those osmosis filters, so then when we're cleaning our dishes and you know, when we're washing our fruit and veg, we have filtered water there, but then we don't actually drink that. We drink from our Zazen water filter as well. Yeah, if anyone wants me to order any of them in, I can get you some wholesale prices for them too, for the Zazen shower filters and the water tanks too. Here's doTERRA's toothpaste, which has been amazing for me because I used to juice half a lemon in the morning, and it took away all the enamel in my teeth, and I had to keep going to the dentist and getting I'm not sure what it was called, but this stuff on my enamel to help with the sensitivity, because every time I would have cold water or if I had ice cream or anything that would upset my teeth, I'd have that pain. And I used to use Sensodyne all the time, and I was pretty much living off that. And then what I didn't realize was that when I started using this On Guard toothpaste, which is fluoride free, because it has On Guard essential oil in there, which is one of the main ingredients is clove essential oil, it actually helped repair my teeth. And now I don't have sensitive teeth at all. And I had to actually look up what it was that helped repair them, because I didn't know that the toothpaste would do that. So it's really nice now being able to have things that are cold and not having that stinging or burning sensation going through your teeth, which is really cool. And there's a natural whitener as well. I've had people comment or say that when they've used it, my teeth are actually getting whiter. And then it's also been really great for my gum health too. I used to get a lot of gingivitis, and because it's got all those antiviral, antibacterial properties in there in the oil, then it's really helped with that as well. It also boosts your immune system too, the On Guard oil. So something else that we do every single morning, Brian and I. It may seem a bit gross to some people, the idea of tongue scraping, because it is a bit gross when you see it first thing in the morning. And the amount of stuff you'll be pulling off your tongue depends on, you know, how much toxins you have in your body too, or what you've eaten. Can be a good indication sometimes that you may need to detox if there's a lot of stuff on your tongue in the first thing in the morning, or if there's lots of white stuff on your tongue. And the healthier and cleaner your diet gets, the less that comes off first thing in the morning. So you pretty much just scrape it off and wash it down the sink, rather than drinking water and swallowing all that disgusting stuff in your mouth. So you're removing the toxins straight away. And then after we've done that, we just go and get the coconut oil. So this one in the picture is just one from Audi, which is awesome, and it's really good value for money too, this one. And it's still cold pressed and organic, because not all coconut oil is the same. So we just literally, you can use a teaspoon or a tablespoon, it's up to you how much coconut oil you'd like in your mouth. And then we just put 1 or 2 drops of essential oil at the same time. So you could use On Guard, you could use myrrh. Some people like to use peppermint. I've been using On Guard lately because it's winter and I want to boost my immune system at the same time. And, you know, they do say to coconut pull for about 20 minutes where you're swishing around the coconut oil in your mouth with the oil. But realistically, if you don't have that much time, you know, 1 minute's going to be better than 0 minutes. So Brian and I, we just put it in our mouth first thing in the morning, and whilst we're, you know, getting dressed or making breakfast, or whilst I'm doing my makeup, and that's when we're swishing around the coconut oil in our mouth and getting as much as we can. Or even some people have told us that they do it whilst they're having a shower in the morning, which is a great time too. And you'll find that you don't even need to brush your teeth after you've coconut pulled. I do most days, do both, but you know, you don't actually have to if you don't want to, because it cleans it so nicely. I think I'm just in the habit of brushing my teeth still. Okay, there's a deodorant recipe here that you can make up if you like. So that little bottle there is just a deodorant bottle that has the roller-y on it. And it's pretty much just fractionated coconut oil, so it's never going to solidify. So you can use it in winter still, which is awesome. And then it's a blend of those 6 oils there. So the purify, ylang ylang, patchouli, frankincense, lemon, and lavender. I'm not sure how many drops. Oh, here we go. I did put it down, luckily. I know some people like to know how many drops of things, but this is how many drops that I put in of each. And you've got all your natural antibacterial oils in there and other different properties too, so it's actually going to keep the bacteria or the smell away, which is what you want, especially if you're working out or working up a bit of a sweat. So 15 drops purify, 5 drops of ylang ylang, 5 drops of frankincense, 5 drops of lemon, 5 drops of lavender, 5 drops of patchouli. So lots of really beautiful oils there for the skin, so soothing at the same time. Especially if you shave underneath your arms or wax, sometimes it can be quite red, or you might get a rash. There's lots of really beautiful oils in this deodorant that are going to help calm that down too. Here's some deodorants as well. So as well as the essential oil one that you can make up, there's also some paste that you can get. So that my base one, the probiotic deodorant base, is my favorite. You can only order it from the US at the moment. I get it from aromatools.com, but they might eventually add it to the au.aromatools.com, which is the Australian website version of that. I've just always loved that, and it lasts easily 6 months, the paste. It's a bit different at first to get used to, because you obviously have to put your finger in there and rub it underneath your arms, but it's so worth it because it's toxin free and it's something that actually works. And I was someone that really sweats a lot, especially because I was so toxic for my gut issues that I used to be really smelly. And then when I did start detoxing, I smelled even worse. And that was the only one that cut it for me, that probiotic deodorant base. And then the black chicken is also awesome as well. I only just discovered that one at the end of last year. You can buy that one online and in Australia. So that's just the paste too. And then what you do is you can just get some essential oils and add it to the paste. So I wouldn't put it straight in the jar. I would just put a little bit underneath your arms and then add the essential oil on afterwards, or you could put a little bit in your hand, add the oil to it and underneath, because, well, I guess you could put the oil inside the jar if you wanted to, but if you wanted to change different smells each time, then I wouldn't do it in the jar. Or you could just have what I do is I just have the deodorant paste put underneath my arms, and then I use the essential oil and fractionated coconut oil blend afterwards underneath if you want a bit of a smell. And some days I just use the paste and don't add any smell at all. And then doTERRA did release a natural deodorant this year as well, which is also really good. I don't feel like it cuts it for me when it comes to hardcore exercise. I still feel a little bit smelly. But if you're not doing, too much, it works in that way. And then I do have some people that use it, and when they've worked out, it works for them. But maybe I'm just a smellier person. I don't know. But then I don't smell when I use the black chicken or the probiotic deodorant base. So works well for me. Okay. So just going into the next part. So synthetic medication, so obviously can have side effects. It's designed to manage the symptoms as well, so not actually treat the underlying root cause. Could have dyes, sugars, colours in them, all things like that. So to minimise symptoms and have a food store too. of inside them, and therefore absorbed by